Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Friday, July the 24th. I'm Chris Hiltgorn, and I'm here today with
Danny Dupuis. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We are so excited that it is Friday. We were kind of doing a little bit of a happy dance earlier.
And it's not going to rain?
No, it's not going to rain.
Maybe. I don't know. We're doing a teaser to the teaser of the weather.
Yes, we are. And we also want to say thank you to KC Security for sponsoring this show. We also have Dan behind us doing our social media because I'm not doing it anymore. I can't really be at two places at once, so it doesn't really work out right now.
Well, I mean, maybe you could try or something.
You could try.
You could use like one of those selfie sticks.
Oh, do you want to try that next week?
You could use a selfie stick instead.
So what's coming up for today's news?
Alrighty, Doug Ford, he's bringing a hockey team with him today. It's going to be a big announcement. Okay, Ross Romano, our local MPP, is going to be there as part of the announcement. He's obviously the Minister of Colleges and Universities. And then Rhonda Lenton, she's the President and Vice Chancellor of York University, is going to be there.
Has she been on yet? Because that name's new.
Yeah, no, she hasn't been in an announcement yet. So this might have something to do with York specifically, because also the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer for the Regional Municipality of York is going to be there. The Mayor of Unionville, Billy Pang, is going to be there. Sorry, the MPP for Markham, Unionville, Billy Pang will be there. And the Mayor of Markham, Frank Scarpitti, will also be there. That's at 1 o'clock. We'll carry it for you live here at Special Report for 1 p.m. So that is quite, and they're doing this announcement in Markham somewhere.
Okay.
They haven't said where. In the past, they've actually said like if it was at a business or something. So maybe it's just at Markham City Hall or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, this is part of the mayor's sort of tour that he's been doing around the province.
He was in Mississauga a few days ago, back at Queen's Park yesterday.
And stuff. Yeah. So that's sort of his tour, because he wants to get out in front of people and be like, hey, it's okay, you can go out as long as you're social distancing, wearing your mask and so on. And that's what we expect from our leaders, to give us an example of what we should be doing. And obviously Trudeau and Ford and other premiers across this country have been doing that. We have much different leadership than we are seeing south of the border.
Very much so.
So yes, our leaders are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Our southern neighbor leader wore a mask once. So
honestly, if you want more information on just kind of how their leaders are doing, there is a new post on SiouxOnline.com, and it's actually called Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Not sure if you had a chance to read this. It was an opinion letter that got sent in to us. It's very interesting about Trump, and he's also identified as a menace on this little letter, so that's very interesting if you guys are looking for something to read on what's going on across the border.
Yeah, and actually speaking of Trump, he's removed his Republican convention from Jacksonville now. They're not even going there. They've moved back to North Carolina. Because the situation with COVID-19 is better in North Carolina than it is in Florida. So they decided they would want to move all their delegates coming from all over the country and put it in a place where there's less cases than the place where there is. So yeah, I still don't understand why they're doing this. I mean, the Democrats, they're doing theirs in every single state and then video conferencing in. Which is a much easier way to control COVID-19 and also socially distance and stuff. I
mean, our House Commons, they didn't even do like their first face-to-face except beginning of July, and they were out of office for months. It says a lot. And like we were talking about yesterday with the Niagara Falls video, it just it really shows where Canada is and where the US is. But in other great news announced yesterday.
Also from Ford, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is awesome to know what's going on in elementary school systems and as well as our school boards. The Ontario government is investing over $500 million to build 30 new schools, to make permanent additions to 15 existing facilities, and supporting over 25,000 students for this new space. So over the next 10 years, they're going to be building, expanding, and I think this has to come into play too with COVID-19, and they need to kind of make facilities a little bit larger. If they're going to be doing smaller classrooms, they have to be able to hold students. But it's really interesting. So coming off with this from the government as well, there are going to be investments for nearly 900 new childcare licenses.
Yes.
So that, I think that is phenomenal, because with COVID-19 and even before that, we needed more education for children. You know, parents who are working all day, what are they going to be doing? Like, there's just so much, and I'm very...
one thing there, that is just the first year.
First year.
There's $12 billion in total. They're putting in 10,000 new licensed daycare spots in schools, but 30,000 in total licensed daycare spots across the province. So they're really stepping up there.
I think it's a great initiative that they're doing right now. Like, really, really great.
Particularly when things are changing, but particularly a lot in education. We've even seen, because of COVID-19, we actually were able to move the entire education system online when we had to, very quickly. And this is all about modernizing schools, building the new ones, and
I think 10 years from now, it's going to be really interesting. Like, once COVID is finally settled and, you know, we're kind of back to our normal lives, it's going to be interesting to see if they still implement online services throughout. And like I said, in the next 10 years, like, how much is the education system going to change? We've seen it change so much. I mean, here in Sault Ste. Marie, we've gone to super schools. We've implemented grade 7s and 8s with high school students. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be really interesting to see in the next few years.
Yeah, the entire plan of education seems to be going in the right direction. I mean, I fully expect to, you know, 10 years from now, you know, every teacher's going to have this on the board with a touch screen and all the other things that we have to do to modernize our school.
Or anything like that.
And the whiteboards and stuff. So, but so the big changes coming in education, and it looks like we're going in the right direction, so that we can stay competitive and have a good workforce to keep the good jobs here at home. So. Speaking of here at home, I did a 1-hour town hall yesterday. It was virtual, obviously, because of COVID-19, and COVID-19 was obviously the topic of conversation.
Big topic.
Yes, so there's two parts of it. There was the mandatory mask policy that came in and stage 3 reopening that both came in last Friday. At this conference, we had Algoma Public Health, Jennifer Flood, she's a public health nurse, Councillor Hilsinger from here in Sault Ste. Marie joined us, and also Dr. Samantha Hill from the Ontario Medical Association joined us as well. We have a short clip here talking about the rollout to businesses of the new Stage 3 and mandatory masks policies. Roll the tape.
How was this communicated from APH to each business? So how would a business, for example, confuse it as being a bylaw, for example?
Yeah, so certainly. So when COVID-19 started, we did some digging and received some information. So contact information via emails for businesses all across Algoma. So over the past, 4.5 months, we've been also adding to that list as businesses contact us, people ask to be added. So the letter was sent to all the businesses that we have on that list, a compilation of, like I said, the information we received externally, information we already had internally from businesses we have been working with. So we sent it via an email blast to all those businesses. Local media also included it on websites where businesses could see it there, as well as the general public, and access the full letter, which had the details that you talked about regarding exemptions and all the fine details. We've also been taking calls, so people call and ask us. We've been answering questions about it. So we've been connecting via all those channels and sharing widely as well. Also through social media, so all of our communication channels. We also, you talked about the different signs. So we actually did some of the front end work and created posters that were readily available, and those were also sent via that email. It's also up on our website where people can access it. And we've made the ready to print posters, so the business owners do not have to do that legwork. We tried to, and we even created a generic policy that they can use.
And that was part of the town hall from yesterday. You can see that full town hall on our YouTube channel, and you can also see it on the Facebook videos. If you go to our Sault Online Facebook page, you can see it there as well. It was an hour long and very interesting, as we talked about a bunch of different things, and these were all questions basically that had come from the public, both business owners and people in the general public, with their questions about both the why are we wearing masks, what are we doing with stage 3, and so on. But very informative, so you can check it out there.
Yeah, we have lots going on. And as you did your interview yesterday, I had one myself with Women in Crisis. I spoke with Erin Lodge, their communication coordinator. They are getting ready for their 3rd annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event. It's taking place on September 26th, and they're actually doing it virtually this year. So normally they would meet. And what's really interesting about this event is it was actually started by men.
Women in Crisis started by men. Okay.
Well, Women in Crisis is the facility where women go to when they are in those violent situations, but this event itself is actually created by men to kind of outline how they feel and support women who face those challenges with their children or violence. So those men decided to put red heels on, start walking, showing their pride. So right now with this event, you can go onto womenincrisis.com, you can register there, and like I said, it's very virtual this year. So what you do is after you register, you know, you can go and purchase a t-shirt that says their fight, walk a mile in her shoes. They have a hashtag to go along with it called Be a Light. So it's really interesting what they are doing. We are going to have more on that interview coming up once it's kind of all set and finished, and we're also going to be doing a live stream of it too, so you can catch up the walk on Facebook. It's just going to be a bunch of little different places. So that's what we got for some community news, and later on today I'll be going down with Arch because they just got a new donation from Circle K. And great with Circle K because they just partnered with the Sault Ste. Marie Police that we talked about yesterday.
Safe Spaces program.
Yeah, see, there's lots going on in the community. But we're going to be sending it over to Dan, our weatherman. What's going on over there, Dan?
Good morning, Danny, and good morning, Chris. Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's a gorgeous sunny morning this morning. We got lots of sun in store today. You're going to see a live view of our waterfront camera, sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. Make sure you check them out. We are going to have a hot day today. Just a couple stats. Our record high was 32.2 in 1989, and our record low was 3.9 Celsius in 1947. We won't see that temperature broken today, most likely, but we are going to get near 30. I will have your full 3-day forecast, your regional temperatures, and your weather watcher and all that coming up right after this break. So stay tuned for more special report. We'll be right back.
Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back to Special Report for Friday, July the 24th. Okay, we got a couple Facebook shoutouts here. Good morning to Juliana, Daniel, and Karen, who all liked our Facebook Live video that we got going on. And also good morning to Nicole as well. Also, thank you everybody for sharing it. We have 11 shares already
We're getting
of
up
our
there.
morning
It's really
show.
exciting.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. If you want to share it, there is a button to click on share, and then you can share it to your personal Facebook page, and then people can click on and they can see the morning show.
And remember, we also have an Instagram page if you want to go follow that. It's at On TV channel. I forget if there's a few different ones, but if you go find us there, we'll have uploads of videos, when our show times are, and all the fun, exciting things.
And over to Daniel for our 3-day forecast. What's happening over the weekend there, bud?
Good morning. Thank you again, Chris and Danny. It is going to be a nice, hot, sunny day today, and we got some good weather in store. I'm going to make a quick birthday shout-outs on my end here. I have Kayla today. It's her birthday, and Mike as well tomorrow. Mike McDonald in British Columbia. Kayla's in Alberta. Both former co-workers of mine, so happy birthday to you guys, and hope you're enjoying the weather out where you are. Okay, we're going to look at our radar map now. So what you're going to see here is we kind of have high pressure that's over top of us right now, and there's a bit of a low here, and we're not really going to see, like you can see the H is right over top of us. So today and probably for half of tomorrow, you're going to get a lot of sun. It's going to be hot, and I'm going to warn everybody the humidity is going to be around 40 tomorrow at this point. So, but what's going to happen is this low is kind of tracking east. We're going to see some unstable weather come in. You're going to see, you know, as we go on through the weekend, things are going to change a little bit, and we might see some showers and then maybe risk of a thunderstorm coming in on Sunday and then lingering into Monday. So that's what's going on with your radar. And, you know, keep in mind, today you're going to want to keep the sunscreen, your hats, all that stuff going on, because it's the UV index is going to be 9 or high. Still not quite that Miami weather, but it is pretty hot for our region. All right, getting onto your regional highs expected for today. So 26 in Thunder Bay, 25 in Wawa, 29 in Sault Ste. Marie and Elliott Lake, and 31 in Timmins and Sudbury. Going to be very hot in those regions as well. And then the expected lows overnight, we're not cooling down a whole lot. 19 in Thunder Bay, 18 in Wawa, and as well as in Sault Ste. Marie. 15 in Elliott Lake, the cool spot up there, and 16 in Sudbury, and 17 in Timmins. So the daily weather for today, we're currently sitting at around 17. It is sunny outside, as you saw in our live view earlier. We are going to get up to a high of 29 degrees with a humidex of 34. As mentioned, the UV index will be very high, so you will scorch if you are out there too long without the proper protective gear on. You're going to see a low of 18 overnight, nice and clear. And its winds are to the south, 13 kilometers, so that's a warm wind. So you're not going to get much relief in the way of a breeze. Okay, so we're going to just get the next slide on over here, but we are going to go into our 3-day. So our Saturday, we're going to see a high of 31, and that's where I mentioned that humidity is going to be about 40 with the humidex. So it's going to be very sticky and muggy, and then overnight you're seeing there it's only a low of 20, which means that you're not going to get much relief. So hopefully you have an air conditioner in your house, but it's going to stay that way into Sunday. You're going to see that thunderstorm risk and showers on Sunday, and then Sunday overnight it will be 18. It will cool down a little bit overnight, and then again Monday you're looking at a high of 26. But we're getting back into the seasonal temperatures later on in the week with some sun. So I'll have that coming up with your 7-day forecast, as well as the Weather Watcher photo when we come back later on in the show. So I'm going to send it back over to Chris and Danny.
Thanks so much, Dan. And yes, happy birthday to Kayla. We hope you're having fun in Alberta. Dan, another person that we mutually know again, of course. We do just want to say that the St. Vincent Place Food Bank hours have changed. So if you are in need of this, the food bank will be open from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays, they are going to be open from 4:30 to 7. So if you are in need of those services, they have changed their hours. That can also be found on our Sioux Online, or if you visit their website. But we're going to be going to a short commercial break. We'll see you after.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
a message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place, at the right time, in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July 24th. Thank
I thought you were going to say June.
Thank you to KC Securities for sponsoring the show. We're having a little laugh there about the Blue Jays, but we'll get to that in a sec. But on a more serious note, yesterday there was a health announcement for here in Algoma. Big announcement. See, Algoma now has what's called an Ontario Health Team. It's all part of the Ford's government trying to modernize healthcare and also to end hallway medicine. So this is a big step forward. This money is used for a couple different things, but the main purpose here is it's to help frail, elderly, and people with permanent conditions that need constant care to be more integrated across their different health providers.
Yeah.
And then also it's also for like healthcare for you and I. Like let's say we went to the hospital, the doctor would know and things like that. So it's a much more integrated system.
And they'll have all your charts there too, so you're not literally asking the same questions every single time you go to different facilities.
Yeah, or when you move from one part of the hospital to the other and they don't transfer your chart correctly and things like that. Everything's digital now at the hospital. They did that earlier in the year, but this is about digitizing the whole Algoma district. So this is about expanding digital care, including the training, education, and purchasing the new tools and technologies for virtual visits. So obviously over COVID-19, we've had to move away from going to your doctor and all sitting in the same room to a lot of virtual and renewing your prescriptions over the phone. Yeah. I know there's a number I call and I renew my prescriptions with the doctor over the phone. So it's about expanding that. Also, for booking your appointments online, so you don't have to call into your doctor. And then you'll actually have like a patient portal, which will have all your information in it, which then can be accessed by any healthcare provider.
Oh, making it so much easier.
So much easier. So you can literally pull up and see the notes. Like if you were at your family doctor the day before and you're at a specialist the next day, they can just pull the notes right up.
That's great.
And also it's about also money for the human resources side of it to be able to help implement this as well, because obviously there's a lot of training that goes on in this and making sure that everybody's on the same page. Because as we know, different people are more comfortable with technology than others, and this is about making things easy and integrated, and hopefully this will help to end hallway medicine. This is at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's moving blocks. They're building. They're going to figure it out one little bit at a time.
Yep.
And speaking of people, I was going to say we have lots going on in the sports world right now. For anyone paying attention yesterday, Seattle announced that they are going to have a new NHL team for the 2022 season. Yes, so many words.
Might be the next season you actually have fans in the seats.
Yes, and I'm going to get to that about another game we were watching with no fans in the stadium. But Seattle has now announced that they are going to be the Seattle Kraken, and they're kind of going to be doing it the same way when it comes to drafting and picking a team. They're going to be taking different players from a whole bunch of different NHL, so you'll each team will be like, you can either have them, kind of what they did for
Vegas Knights, right?
Exactly, exact same thing that they're doing for Vegas Knights. So that's super excited to see. And with that too, they are actually, I had it right here, what division. So Seattle will play in the Pacific Division, and then meaning that Arizona Coyotes will move to Central. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, I'm looking forward. I was super pumped when they got the Vegas Knights.
Vegas' very first season. They made it so far.
I know, and hopefully that good luck's going to rub off on the Kraken. Look at that logo. I was watching the video before we got on the show, and I was super pumped about it. And as many of you know, tonight the Jays play, and we were kind of making a comment.
Yeah, we were laughing when we were coming in the air because we're like, where? Because they don't have a home stadium, and this is a home game. Like, are they just playing in some random
No, their first home game actually is until July 29th, so they're actually playing Tampa Bay Rays. So they'll be going over.
They don't have any place to play if it's a home game.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're looking at the Baltimore for potentially doing that, but I mean, we'll still see. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch a game without having any fans. I mean, yesterday Yankees played. They got rained out. I mean, they ended up going back and won, but it was just so weird, no fans in the stage. But we will have more on sports and a few other things going on right after this commercial break.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
And welcome back to Special Report for Friday, July the 24th. We're now going to go over to Daniel for the 7-day forecast. How's it going to look after this weekend there, Daniel?
Thank you very much, Chris and Danny. I'll quickly do the weather watcher here. We're going to mention this was sent in this was from last week rather, during those thunderstorms we had, and it was sent in by Stephanie actually on our Facebook page. You can see it was pretty, we had some pretty good thunderstorms last weekend, and I have a statistic for that. On this day, one of the most powerful strokes of lightning that was ever measured yielded 345,000 amps of electricity. That was in Pittsburgh on this day on July 24th. So, you know, we won't see that this weekend, but we are going to see some stuff coming up on the 7-day. Please send in your photos to ontvweather@gmail.com and include your name and location. All right, so 7-day outlook, as mentioned, Saturday going to be very hot and humid. Sunday you will see that change and possibly a thunderstorm and some showers. Monday and Tuesday we're looking at seasonal temperatures, might be some clouds on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 23, 24, and 26, and sunny. We're kind of hovering around seasonal, and our overnight lows are also around seasonal for this time of year. So that's what's going to look like for your next 7 days, and hope everybody has a good weekend. I'm going to send it back over to Chris and Danny.
Thank you very much. So what do we got going on this weekend?
Well, a few things going on. It is going to be super, super nice out. So if you are going up north, remember Lake Superior Provincial Park has multiple different beautiful areas that you can go. They just posted on their Facebook too of all the different coastal sites you can go, as well as all the hiking trails and all the fishing trails. So there's lots to do there. But Chris, before we end the show, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
What color is fentanyl?
White.
Turns out it could actually be blue. So why we're ending
Smurf fentanyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why we're ending the story right now with this is because as we know in the Sioux, there are issues pertaining to fentanyl overdoses and everything.
Bunch of busts in the last 6 weeks. Yeah.
On July 22nd, there was a 21-year-old Devin Bailey Jones who was charged with possession of controlled substance. But the thing is, they had him, did like a search, found a blue substance. They released him, tested the substance, and then realized it was fentanyl and called him back.
And he went back willingly?
Well, they had to. So he's going to appear in court September 28th. But I mean, people, when you're out there, just be careful. Realize what you're putting into your body, and please remember, you know, sometimes things aren't what they seem. As we know, certain substances can be laced with fentanyl. Yep. Like the list goes on and on and on. But we're kind of an end note. We hope that everyone stays safe, and like we said, if you are going out this weekend, stay hydrated. Make sure to bring that umbrella if it does start to rain. And Chris, we also have an announcement coming up. What's going on there?
Yeah, so we'll be with Doug Fort at 1 p.m. today. Ross Ferman, our local MPP, will be there as well as about a hockey team of people will be at that announcement as well. There's going to be 6 people there. We'll see you back here at 1 p.m. and news all day, and my show at 7 p.m. tonight. Have a good morning.
Have a great day.